What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and there's some good news today for JD, and of course, some instant regret for Miss AH. Now, I wish I could say their names, but videos on this topic tend to get memory hold on YouTube, and I'm not exactly sure why. I'm not sure why they are covering for one of these people, but I guess I can only speculate, which is why I'm always asking and thankful for the likes you leave and the comments and the sharing that you do to help get the message out there. Now, there's a lot going on with a former musician, Marilyn Manson, who has been dealing with several claims over the past, 10 years or something like that, from one woman in particular. Now, as with all cases like this, I will reiterate, you are not heroic if you come out on Twitter or, in some magazine interview about certain problems. That's not heroic. Filing a report, a police report, getting a conviction, then you can go on your press tour. Because until such a point, I have to assume you're just doing it for clout. That's the only reasonable solution, because as of right now, Marilyn Manson has not been really brought up on anything. There's claims, but as of right now, on February 4th, nothing's happened. So I'm going to guess that they lack the evidence. Now, of course, AH had to insert herself, has condemned the media for, quote, ignoring the claims against the singer. I don't know about that, AH, given it was #1 worldwide trending on Twitter all day long, and you know that that's a manual process. There was also 1,000 articles written about it, so I'm not sure exactly who was ignoring it. And of course, in the interest of what is true, right now, Marilyn Manson's response was simply, this was a horrible distortion of reality. He's denied these claims. So right now, you have to prove it. Just because you say it doesn't make it true. And of course, on Thursday, AH had to get herself involved in it, sharing the article from the New Yorker suggesting there is a blind spot when it comes to claims made against public figures. Are you joking? It's like leading news on every single, especially when it's a man. If it's a woman, yeah, then we'll talk about it. What was her name? Anthony Bourdain's, the ex who was, taking photos with like a 17-year-old. What was her name? Yeah, she got fired from her job, but no one really covered that, did they? Heard wrote, and then after a Twitter user replied to her message with a single word, fraud, she responded, well, I know a couple of overindulgent white male celebrities who happen to be world famous and single, who are definitely in the market for some low curse missing. Shall I intro you? I don't even understand what that means. Earlier this week, AH's ex was permitted a oral hearing in his attempts to appeal. This is a nice step forward. Here, you see JD's trial took a big step forward battling this libel case. This via Cinema Blend. For several years now, JD has been entangled in legal battles, both directly and indirectly tied to his split from his ex-wife. And in early November, he was dealt a major setback when he lost a libel case against the Sun in the UK court over a publication describing him as something terrible. And his team of lawyers planned to appeal the ruling. Now, at that time, I think, it goes on to cover this. So to say, the appeal I thought was largely ceremonial to try and get this, $1 million loss out, but we'll see. Court of Appeal Judge Justice Underhill announced that JD and his team have been granted an oral hearing that will happen sometime between March 15th and 31st for approximately 2 hours, during which time further evidence can be adduced. Adduced? Why don't you just say introduced? I don't know. Deadline reports that AH's legal team has until February 21st to provide reasons for opposing this appeal, at which point JD's team will have until February 28th to counter. Although JD's side was able to prove elements of the claim in its legal battle with the Sun, the case was utterly dismissed, with the judge finding that the newspaper statements about JD and one of its stories about his tumultuous relationship with AH to be substantially true. After hearing AH's testimony a few weeks later, it was reported that JD had to pay almost $850,000 in legal costs. He and his team had until December 7th to file for an appeal. So with the oral hearing forthcoming, we can deduce that they had filed on time. Along with having to pay nearly $850K, JD losing his case also cost him professionally. After the ruling came in, Warner Brothers requested he resign from the role of Geralt Grindelwald in Fantastic Beasts, and he obliged, despite having filmed only one scene. Well, I mean, if somebody's like, hey, can you step down from this film? I mean, we're going to pay you in full. Would you like to not work but still get paid? I mean, I don't know. I'd probably take that too. Of course, the case appeal is just one of several battles JD is currently engaged in. Later this year, obviously, there's another defamation case which will move forward in Virginia, with the case focusing on a countersuit that the Aquaman actress filed alleging that JD tried to ruin her career by deploying social media bots against her, which is in violation of Virginia's Computer Crimes Act. JD's legal team have called the case a hoax, but it didn't help with attempting to get a bid. But that didn't help with attempting to get a bid for immunity. Now, I don't think that JD knows how to deploy bots. I'm pretty sure he's a boomer. Is somebody on his team behind it? I don't know. Maybe. But why? More recently, it was reported that AH's team filed a subpoena requesting information pertaining to his time playing Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. She had previously claimed that JD took her hostage during filming, and now not only does she want someone from Disney to be involved in a virtual deposition to discuss, but her team has requested documentation from Disney that recorded, quote, incidents of bad behavior, any instance of lateness or delays in incidents. I'm sure that anybody the size of Johnny Depp has a long history of being late on set. And if we look, let's just take a look at how the responses have panned out here. Let's see. Yellow Flash coming in with the Pinocchio. We've got, what's this picture? Are you hanging out with him? Put your hand down and stop exploiting Evan's story to sway the public perception back in your favor. Don't act like you didn't break bread and hang out with the dude for years after his relationship with her. Your own record of bad behavior and your own record of bad behavior against your partners. Yeah, she's hanging out with the guy. And then, I don't know. Well, I don't really understand. I mean, I don't understand. What does this even mean? Are you implying that someone's into men? Are you using that as... I don't really understand. You see here, you admitted he didn't hit you during your telephone call. And here it is. No, I didn't say you did it. I said I can expect it next. I'm defending myself. And, of course, all the pictures of his finger, pictures of the mark, a petition with millions of signatures. This was a hilarious backfire. Did you raise your hand or hit it or to punch? Or hit or to punch? Panics, I'm so proud of you, simp. Again, the entire thread. I'm still looking for the broken nose. Can you help me find it? The entire thread is people dunking on her. Just dunking. I mean, all this. I mean, this is hilarious. The public has The public has her. Yeah, again here, Amber also locked up for raising her hand. Why isn't this a bigger part of the case? You know, and this is exactly what they can expect. This is exactly what they can expect in terms of what you're going to see with Aquaman 2 press. This is the main actress, one of the main actresses in the film, getting ratioed. And the tweet, and it's full of just hilarious. Imagine liking this horrible person. Her opinion is irrelevant. You know, I'm not defending Manson, lock him up, but also lock her up. This is hilarious coming from you. You don't, I mean, just everybody completely put your lying hand down and stop trying to capitalize on other people's trauma. Just some as a hilarious backfire. I can't wait for this movie press to start. And also, justice for Johnny, please. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.